doing it right. Holding it down in the day and the night. Real talk, real love, no need to explain. We riding this wave through sunshine and rain. Vet and validate, yeah, we got you. Speak your truth, we rockin' beside you. Laugh, cry, let it all ride. You're not alone, we're here for the vibe. Vent and validate. Vent and validate, that's what I say. Vent and validate, refrain.
Hey guys, this is Vent and Validate episode 5. I am Cray, and today we will be discussing family gatherings. Yes, family gatherings. Now, as you also know that Autism Awareness Month is coming up. So I want to kind of touch bases on that too. Kind of want to put them both together. And it sounds a little different, but I'll tell you why. When we start talking about family gatherings, what does that mean to you? How does that resonate with you? Going to family reunions, barbecues, Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever that is, still a family gathering. What does that say with you? How does that reside within you? Are they accepting? Do you find yourself apologizing? Giving them all of these terms that the autism community so discuss, things of that nature. What does it mean to you? So today we're going to get into that. Now before we get started, I want to go ahead and do our daily affirmation, because I was doing it at the end of the show, and I really feel like we should do it at the beginning. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get that started. Take a deep breath and let's do it. I am doing my best, and that is enough. My love, patience, and strength makes a difference, even on the hardest days. I am the parent that my child needs, and together, we're growing together in our own way. Boom. Now, if you needed that like I did, I feel so much better. So let's go ahead and get started. So, what is a family gathering, and what does it mean with you? Family gatherings, I'm not too big on them. I used to be, but now it's kind of like cringeworthy, because as we all know, our children are kind of unpredictable. And with me, and I'm sure with a lot of other parents, it's the whole sensory issue. It's the loud noises. It's, maybe it's dogs barking. It could be just too much chaos going on. We all know that if we're going to a family gathering, in most cases, there's not an available sensory room. It's not a place where you can take your child and just let them calm down to a dark place and just let them chill out for a second. And then, not to mention, you have your in-laws or family members just coming up, being loud, obnoxious, things of that nature. Just asking crazy questions, or just schooling you about something that you don't need to be schooled about, So I can understand why this lady that wrote her letter, she is very frustrated and she doesn't like to go to family gatherings. And I can totally understand where she's coming from, because like I said, I used to love them, but not so much, because we cringe because we don't know if our child is going to sit there 5 minutes or 5 seconds before they have a meltdown. And honestly, sometimes we look for them to have that meltdown, because let's face it, sometimes we don't want to be there no more than they want to. So sometimes it could just turn into a groovy excuse to just go ahead and go home, right? So it's just the luck of the draw with it, but all of the questioning and where did it come from, and it doesn't run on our side of the family. It's just kind of like, that's why I said acceptance, the Autism Acceptance Month come in at. It's like you have to constantly just explain yourself, and you get tired of it. And you would think, and I'm thankful for Autism Awareness Month, but how much awareness will it really spread? I really don't see how much awareness is going to spread, and before May, knocks on the door, it's just right back to what we were doing before. Because honestly, if it doesn't hit your front door, if it does not resonate with you, if you don't have a child on the spectrum or someone close to you, you'll never get it. And I don't expect you to. This isn't a why me type of party. But a lot of times, and I'm not talking to the ones who do want to know more about it. I get that. But it's just some that they'll never get it because they have these preconceived notions that that's not what it is, or it's, curable, or it's just, we've heard some of the dumbest things, and you guys let me know, what is some of the craziest things you've ever heard in relation to your child having autism? What is something that you couldn't believe that a person said to you that, you felt like it could have put you in cuffs? I'll just put it that way, right? So it's just raising awareness and hoping whatever that you say will just stick. Guys, it just doesn't start with a t-shirt. It starts with people asking honest questions and we giving them honest answers. From vaccines and, drinking from the same cup. It's just outrageous. And I feel like if we had more on a bigger platform to talk about this, then maybe it wouldn't be as bad as it would be, or it is. But sometimes I feel like it is what it is because people will be who they will be. And I really don't have, any type of bad wishes with people with those type of intentions that say those things, because sometimes it's just pure ignorance. They just don't know. I can't get mad at a person that don't know. If you don't know, you just don't know. But don't expect me to continuously entertain you, because that is something I won't do. And I won't put my child in harm's way to try and appease you. Go read a book. Go read a news article or something. But don't ask me no dumb questions. I'm sorry. But let's go ahead and move right along. I'm so sorry, guys. But it just burns me up sometimes when I hear these stories. And honestly, I've heard a few myself, but I'm so glad, not so glad, because I hate to hear other parents say this, but I'm so glad that it wasn't I that heard some of these things, because I'm telling you, I can't guarantee how I'm going to react to them, because it's like you spend so much time trying to protect your child, protect, and you want to shield them from this world, but it's so much ignorance going on around it. It's just, I'm telling you, we're bulletproof. We're bulletproof for our children. I swear we are. So, enough of that. I know. We're going to go ahead and get into this letter, okay? So, this is from another super mom, and she says she just needs to go ahead and let it out, all right? She says she feels like she's drowning every time a family gathering rolls around. Holidays, birthdays, and barbecues. All of it seems so stressful that she almost wants to skip them altogether. Who doesn't feel that way? Raise your hand, right? So she goes on to say, I love my family, but I feel like they really don't accept my son for who he really is. I've tried to explain autism to them so many times, but it feels like they just don't want to understand. I'm so tired of being the translator, advocate, and the peacekeeper. Stop. I'm going to have to stop this letter. It wouldn't be no peacekeeper, because I'm not going to sit and school anybody on my son that don't get it. I don't mind explaining things, but when you get to the point where it's breaking my peace, then I got to leave you and your dumb theories where it is, okay? So, let's move on. Okay, she goes on to say, every gathering feels like a minefield of comments or stares. This is what she's putting up quotes and saying, is he still doing that weird hand flapping thing? Maybe if you disciplined him more, he'd act normal. Or, this is the worst one, are you sure he's really autistic? He looks fine to me. As if autism has a look. Well, I've heard of that too. And oof, okay, let's stick to the left. Then there are the constant suggestions. Have you tried this new diet? My friend's cousin kid went gluten free and now he's basically cured. Or the pitying looks when I have to leave early because my son is overwhelmed and is melting down. Then they'll say, maybe if you brought him around more, he'd get used to it, as if that's how sensory overload works. It feels like I'm walking into a space where I'm not just parenting my child, but I'm defending him. And defending myself for not being able to fix him after their expectations. It's exhausting and it's isolating. There's this tightness in my chest the entire time we're there. I'm hyper aware of everything my son is doing and also terrified of the next comment or the unsolicited advice. I spend the whole visit feeling defensive and judged instead of enjoying my family's company. I even thought about just stopping altogether, skipping every holiday, making our own traditions at home, where my son feels safe and accepted. But then I feel guilty for taking him away from family and for distancing myself. I just wish they could see him the way I do, perfect as he is. I guess I just needed to say all of this out loud because it's heavy. And pretending I'm okay with these things, it really isn't helping. Thank you so much for letting me vent. Whew. She's gonna make me emotional. Guys, did you hear what she just said? Accepting him the way he is and as perfect as she sees him to be. This is the thing. If this is your family, then they should understand. If you're coming around every blue moon and they see the same behavior, it's not you. It's not that you're a bad parent. This is the thing. Your child, his peace, your peace, his safety, your safety is protected first and foremost, period. Don't you ever think that you have to bend and bow to anyone to appease them. If that is your family and they want you to come around more and him to come around more, for your son to come around, then they'll accept him the way he is. Period, point blank, simple. There's no way around it. Either you're going to accept it or that means I have to create my own tradition. Right? So never feel that I don't care who it is. We love you. I understand you. I feel you. I feel for you. But sometimes we have to step away from things for people to really get the gist of what we're really speaking of. Because it's sad that you have to feel guilty. Why are you feeling guilty? If anything, you should be upset because your family is supposed to understand what's going on. You don't have to understand what autism is. But if I'm telling you something, then it shouldn't be a combative way of you saying, well, if you did this or you did that, you're not in my shoes. You're not in my shoes. And if you really want me to be around, you wouldn't make me feel that way. Maybe you should talk to your family. Set a boundary. Let them know how you feel. If you really feel that guilty, because it seems like this is really like eating you up. Honestly, for me, I'd be like, but I really understand where you come. Some people are really, really close to their families like that, and they really want to be in that circle. And I get it. I really do. So if you feel that way, honestly, Mom, just try and have one more conversation with whomever the head is, whether it be mom, dad, aunt, uncle, whoever. Sit them down one-on-one and let them know. Look them in their eyes. Look them in their eyes and tell them, hey, look, this makes me feel very uncomfortable. This is what I'm going through. And hey, if this doesn't change, then I'm not going to be able to come around. My allegiance comes to my son first and foremost. I have to protect him. And if he cannot be in a safe space, if I have to be in a space where I am being bombarded with questions and feeling less than, I can't come around, because I understand it gives a person anxiety. I know some time back, my mom, we had a family reunion, and we hadn't seen each other in so long, and that was my thing. I was just kind of like, really, because we all live in different states, and I had to come to grips with myself. I was kind of like, I don't know if I wanted to do it. And I was very just apprehensive. I really didn't want to do it. But once I did it, I kind of went in with this attitude of, either it's all or nothing with me. But it turned out pretty well. I was just ready and willing for all of the smoke. All of the smoke. But I get it. We really don't have time for that sometimes. So, Mama, I get it. Just try one more time to talk to your family. Talk to whoever is in charge. See if they'll hear you out. And if not, then you got to set that boundary. You got to draw that line in the sand, because your children, they come first, period. And if you have to compromise their integrity and their hearts, that's sometimes you just got to let things go and create your own world. Sad, but that's just the way it is. But I get it, Mom. Hang in there. You are doing an amazing job. And I really love the way that you really are willing to still go around your family, because a lot of us would be like, I'm not doing that. I just don't want to do it. But guys, let's go ahead and give this mom a round of applause for her dedication, because you are really doing your thing. I really admire that even though you're doing the best that you can with your child, you're still trying to, have a relationship with your family. So that's pretty cool. So thank you for that. Hang in there. That is my time today. And I want to thank you guys for sitting and putting up with me for today. Now, also, if you want to like and subscribe, check me out on ventvalidate.com for those resources. All right? I'll see you guys in a bit. Take care. Bye.